Good morning, students. I hope everyone is doing fine. Okay. In the previous classes, we have learned about epithelial tissues, connective tissues, etc. Today we are going to study about muscular tissues. You know, the muscular tissues plays an important role in the body of all animals. Along with the bones, this muscular tissues helps in the movement of different organs and also in our locomotion. And these muscular tissues normally known as muscle fibers. They are commonly known as muscle fibers. And these muscle fibers consist of a special type of proteins known as contractile proteins. What's the name? Contractile proteins. So the presence of contractile proteins help the muscular tissues to undergo contraction and relaxation. So by the contraction and relaxation of these muscular tissues, the movement occurs in our body. So the muscular tissues consist of a special type of protein called contractile proteins. Due to the presence of this contractile protein, muscular tissues are able to undergo contraction and relaxation, and this result in the movements. Muscular tissues by the movement of that, only the movement of organs occurs. Okay, so that is the main function of muscular tissues. So along with the bones, it involved in the body movements. There are mainly three types of muscular tissues in our body. That are skeletal muscle, smooth muscle, and cardiac muscle. There are three types of muscular tissues in a body. They are the skeletal muscle, smooth muscle, and cardiac muscle. So the skeletal muscle is always attached with bone. It is always attached with the bones, and it is responsible for all voluntary movements in our body. All voluntary movements. This muscular tissue is always attached with the bones, and it is responsible for the voluntary movements in our body. What is meant by voluntary movements? The movements which can be controlled. Some type of the movements which can be controlled by our will or wish. We can decide when to start or when to stop. For example, the movements in our hands, movements in our legs. Movement stop, we can stop. If we want to start the movement, we can start the movement. If we want to walk, we can walk. When we want to stop our walking, we can stop. So that movements we can control. That can be controlled by ourselves. Such movements are known as the voluntary movements, and these muscular tissues helps in the voluntary movements. So this skeletal muscles is also known as voluntary muscles. Okay, skeletal muscle is also known as voluntary muscle. Since it is attached with the bones or skeletal system, these muscular tissues are known as skeletal muscles, and since it helps in the voluntary movement, it is known as the voluntary muscles. Then when we observe through the microscope, it is clear that the cells are cylindrical shaped. In muscular fibers or muscular tissue, each cell is cylindrical shaped. And there are dark and light striations. When we observe the microscope, it is clear that the muscular tissues consist of light and dark bandings or light and dark striations. So these tissues also are known as striated muscles. Skeletal muscle is also known as striated muscles because it is showing the dark and light striation. So the skeletal muscle, voluntary muscle, striated muscles. All type of muscles are same muscular tissues. Okay, and each cell is multinucleate. Multinucleate means normally one cell consists of single nucleus, but these skeletal muscles consist of more than one nucleus. And it is seen on the peripheral side only, not at the center. Outer side, peripheral part, the nucleus are located. So it consists of many nucleus and also located on the peripheral side. So it is a multinucleate condition. Multinucleate. And it is unbranched. So each cell is cylindrical shaped, multinucleate and unbranched. Okay, so that is about the skeletal muscle. It is always attached to the bone. So it is known as the skeletal muscle. And it is responsible for the voluntary movement, and so it is known as the voluntary muscle. So voluntary movements means the movements which can be controlled by our wish or will. Okay, then since it is showing the dark and light striation, it is also known as striated muscle. Then we can study about the smooth muscle. The smooth muscles present in the walls of internal organs. Internal organs like our stomach, intestine, and also the kidneys, urinary tract, the walls of intestine, small intestine, large intestine, all these made of smooth muscles. Can we control the movement of intestine? Can we control? No, we cannot control the movement of intestine, stomach, etc. So, the movements occurs in the internal organs are the involuntary movements. Involuntary movements. The smooth muscle is responsible for all involuntary movements. So, the involuntary movements means the movements which occurs unintentionally. We cannot control its movement. Okay, we cannot control such type of the movement. Such movements are known as the involuntary movements. The smooth muscles are responsible for the involuntary movements. Generally, the smooth muscles are present in the walls of internal organs. And each cell is spindle shaped. Each cell of smooth muscles are the spindle shaped. Spindle shaped means the broad at the middle and pointed at the both ends. So that shape is the spindle shape. And uninucleate, single nucleus present in the center of the cell. And it is also unbranched. So each cell is spindle shaped, uninucleate and unbranched. and they never shows any striations. There is no dark and light striations present in the smooth muscles. So this muscle is also known as unstriated muscles. Unstriated muscles. That means muscular tissues without any striations. Okay. Then next one is the cardiac muscle. Cardiac muscle. Cardiac muscles mainly present in the walls of heart. You know that the heart movement also cannot be controlled. Isn't it? We cannot control the movements of our heart. So the walls of heart consist of a special type of involuntary muscle. That is the cardiac muscle. So these cardiac muscles have the ability to undergo contraction and relaxation rhythmically throughout their life period. Always they undergo rhythmic contraction and relaxation. And as a result, heart beats occurs, and that is responsible for pumping of blood. So always heart is beating. So the cardiac muscles present in the walls of our heart always undergo rhythmic contraction and relaxation. That movements also cannot be controlled. So the cardiac muscle is also a type of involuntary muscle. Okay, it is also a type of involuntary muscle, but a special type of involuntary muscles that is present in the heart, walls of heart, that is the cardiac muscle. It can undergo rhythmic contraction and relaxation throughout their life period, which helps in the pumping of blood, and as a result only the heartbeat occurs. Okay, then what about its cell nature? It is also cylindrical shape, like that of the skeletal muscle. Cardiac muscle is also have cylindrical shape, but it is branched. Branches are there. So it is a branched cylindrical cells, and also single nucleus, uninucleate condition. So cells are cylindrical shaped and uninucleate and branched. And this cardiac muscle also showing very light striations. These striations are not prominent as like that of the skeletal muscle, but a lightweight striations are also present in the cardiac muscle. Okay, so these are the three types of muscular tissues: skeletal muscle, smooth muscle and cardiac muscle. Another name of skeletal muscle, voluntary muscle and striated muscle. Voluntary muscle and striated muscle. Smooth muscles, another name unstriated muscle. And both smooth muscles and cardiac muscles are involuntary muscles, which are responsible for the involuntary movements. Okay, clear all of you? I hope everyone understood. Okay, only one more tissues that we can study in the next section. Thank you.